Hi guys, and welcome to your NXT review from last night. So this episode and this episode is a really long episode. We start off with obviously bright and well, it came in the role of versus to Annie Jordan, and that's one with and this one is a very short match as Jordan get is become down and get an attempt to get retribution and but it would jump into the crowd and escape and get away her ultimately kill Annie Jordan with another match by count out. But later on it would be confirmed anyway that the two that Jordan and well he he if and 2 weeks in Philadelphia by Eva later on in the show. In the back you see JC Jane and Ito and Phil and having another argument and then in comes an associate of Ash by again he says to JC to make sure not to sign that title up for Ash if she's going to beat you for on it on Thursday. And JC's all like yeah, right that right that'll never happen. Ash is too much of a coward to say that to my face. Obviously, obviously, in the read, chimes in and she says, isn't that Jack Asman's job to shine both your belts? And she hands the belts to Jack Asman to go and shine up. And obviously, a segment ends in the yeah. Also in the back, you see, also in the back, you see the so in try and hit Tatum back so he's for the title match. It so I can never hand so I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, but I think the tries to manipulate this situation and she says as long as you were in the title as long as you win as long as you win the title you'll never have to feel alone again and you'll be accepted hereby as your real gear or real family the next match on the card for last night was Hank and Tank versus Chase. Now Chase had a bit of a pep talk from on Jerry Chase Earl here on, and he says don't take these guys away. You've got a sort chance. Um, and that is basically the story of the match. Um, I think Honors and the action were a bit, i.e., even the context of the story. This match wasn't really a great match because there was a auction right at the end. And the referee didn't actually say to I think it was Honors that his shoulder has to come off for it to count as a free count, and the referee just carries on counting, and then they realises after the fact Hank actually did the finish Sean that looks ridiculous because of the botch before it. And yeah, and yeah, so Hank and Tank retain, um, obviously, but then Dark come out and they attack Hank Hank after Hank and Tank give to Honors and it's in the hand shake Hank and Tank are left in the ring, and obviously in the back you get um obviously in the back you get a pretty bizarre promo cut from the arts. In particular, I'm referring to Cutler or James, who says who says you're on your on a arse now and we're going to stay here until you can't and the belts are coming home with us. And even the facial expressions from the rest of them Buzz and Darks, they were all like, what the hell are you on about? So yeah, there was that. Uh, and the back as well, you see, or the instinct, or the instinct here having a chat with Charlie, say about, um, about of my I was born and and I was born into Avion Heights who have both left the NUCC and she's like cheer up kitty here's move on and you know who cheers me up I believe Joe or Henry out comes Joe Henry out the fridge in the back and obviously with this leads to the end having a selfie with Joe Hendry and it sets up a match between Hendry and Charlie Dempsey for next week because Hendry says I know you will like competing. I know you will like competing, uh, and I've set up match next week if you're interested. In the uh, in the back we see TV on Heights and Miles on give each other some encouragement about leaving the NQCC Avion. So like we'll show Lexus Chen who's boss and yeah and Avion, so like I've got some big plans of my own. So the next match in the card is obviously Lexus King versus oh, Texas King versus Miles Born. A good back and forth match in this. A good back and forth match this. Um, obviously Miles Born hits his exact which he calls on again and gets the and although midway through the match, Texas King Thompson on's ear, and yeah, you'd have thought that they've called off the match, but no. So that was a bit bizarre, but other than that, it was a good match. And yeah. And then so the next segment is obviously the confrontation of Oba Femi, Chirikwa Williams, Von Evans, and TNA's and TNA's Moose. Now, Oba actually, he said he's got no more challengers, he's beaten them all, except outcomes. Rick, he said he's holding down to brands and he's the guy to beat Oba Femi. He, he's the guy to beat Oba Femi and he wants to take the championship to solidify him holding down the brand's outcomes on. He basically said, "Chira, I could jumping you over eventually says I'm gonna leave the ring. Why I don't you set up a match between both of you for tonight, and we'll see who gets to take on me for the NXT title. X says I've got a better idea why I don't me and Javon to do this. Heatwave if outcomes outcomes yeah, and the systems moose. He says to Chirk Williams, don't forget about our match at emergence. I'm going to take back the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. He says, he says to Oba as well, I haven't forgotten about NXT Road, Road Welcome on a piece of you, and then out comes Arcs again, and they try and get the jump in all four men, and but all four men in the title will picture all four men in the title picture kind of wipe out Archstake very easily with the Archstake and the cover back of it. And that's the end of the segment, although we do find out later on um it'll be the full one and the championship pick sure will be teaming up to face Hearts. It's so similar sort of um so similar sort of circumstances as to the build to stand until ever. So sort of rinse and repeat, but it could be a good it could be a good match, and it'll be interesting to see. I'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how the different styles ish, but like I just made a fatal form for both else. Obviously, he won if because I think eventually Giovanni Evans will hold off else, but an interesting thing is that Dark State didn't really attack Javon Evans, which I felt was a bit bizarre, maybe I'm more reading too much in it, but they never attacked Javon Evans. So yeah, there's so there's that to consider as well. Obviously, it's not time for the Heatwave versus Nia X. Now that this match I felt was actually a decent subject and and I know it's an Nia X match and I'm not very keen on Nia Jax either, but like yeah, he'll got a lot of more offense than I was expecting. She had to so he performed it right away from the top rope. He is sitting on the top rope and she's got Jack and she's got Jax and so he performed and yeah, for right away, I only thought he has got a chance here. Obviously, he should does hit a turn. He do he etc. But then Giles kinda uh, was back into them. It ends up taking hail off the ropes, and it's almost still like he is going to end up in the trio. Oh, but she falls back down into the onside dropper, whatever Jax holds it and gets the victory. No, Often out the ordinary, but was surprised at how much offense, yeah, he'll actually, or, I do enjoy, yeah, Nia Jax, not so, Nia Jax, not so much, obviously, I gets on them, and she cut a promo saying, saying the reason why she's back in NXT, actually, agent has done absolutely often, um, so I also says she's here as each and that brings out and that brings out what actual agent in the two but and the two would continue to roll backstage throughout the night I will make it to Ethan Page and Ethan Page comes out he kill what's about his North American title and obviously the North American title's got the Canadian foul. I um as a bit else that it said something he sort of it's over and he knows well he said he says although I beat Santino although he's a loser he's still a Canadian which is better than any of you outcomes outcomes Avion hates as Ethan Page attempts to sing the Canadian national anthem again. Hates tries to stand up on America and obviously he sort of stands up to Ethan Page and sort of issues him a challenge, but out comes Chelsea getting in with the Secret Service. Obviously, obviously, Chelsea's a bit vexed about having the Canadian national anthem interrupted, and she was gonna come out and sing it if Ethan Page. She says she's the greatest Canadian if Ethan Page was second and you didn't have a woman would I do I can't I do I can't and you angry sort of thing, and obviously he hates as a woman. If I'm not gonna hit you, but I'll find somebody that will, and it's either gonna be each and because they will have few did countless times in WWE or and then ENA together or it could be somebody like Zazil in a Vega who Chelsea's recently feuded with. Uh, um, so yeah, so those are two possibilities, and it could be somebody like a yeah, hero. I'd love to see that down there. I might get up against Chelsea Jordynn and Ethan Page, but both ain't out. Um, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this hearing that Chelsea Green and Ethan Page obviously being obviously both being Canadian. It kind of helps the chemistry. But if they were to bring back the mixed match challenge, you could see those who have been a pretty from a double team, yeah, and bring that back to WWE because it was one of the most enjoyable parts of the 2010s. Um, obviously, obviously it sets up a tag team match for next week. Um, and yeah, so that was pretty good. Yeah, obviously, you do obviously see a bit of follow up between Aria, you obviously so you see a bit of follow up between Ariana Grand's acts. She says, "Oh, oh, Channing, are you okay?" After the so apologist thought check up on you and obviously access hates Scott Almeida and obviously the two get interrupted by a but all between um a but a brother all between the but in Jackson or Edging um so yeah pretty and pretty in and off as well obviously see continued obviously see continued our election between the one Phillips um and Jasmine Nats. She's booked Fallon Henley and J.C. Jane in a tag match. She spoke to Eva after her signing the belts. So obviously the Jasmine face is still happening. I can't remember who it is and who it is she's facing probably. Yeah, I think it's a more all of Asian killer Annie Jordan. I can't really remember. Um, but yeah, obviously continued friction. In the but you you see Jackson will agent um kind of still continuing to but still continuing to role in the warden or area obviously this of slowly Ava's had enough. She's caught in the middle of it, and she says there'll be a obviously, as she says there'll be a match next week. Oh, Ashley Agent versus Nia Jax. I've had enough of this. Um, and then we get to Anamura versus Channing Starks Lorenzo. Pretty decent match. It stems from Anamura so happen Channing Starks Lorenzo after acts and touch it himself into the feud between him and between Anamura and Josh Riggs. Um, obviously, obviously, he Stibdax gets the victory by um an Ariana Gray's action as she slaps Anamura and Josh Briggs hits a boot on when Anamura as Anamura as Anamura gets back into the ring and acts benefits great. It does with things. It gives Stacks the victory and continues this new sort of reality based Oreo and if Ariana or Jesus Channing starts Lorenzo's fiance in the real life, but it also gives Ariana something. It gives Ariana Grey something to do, as she's very talented. As you know, I'm a big fan of hers. I like Stacks as well, but she's probably getting the more sort of personality out that up. Oh, and so yeah, um, but yeah, but yeah, it sets up that feud, but also continues the Josh Briggs and the Mura feud and adds more fuel to the fire, and we'll probably get a match between those two at Heatwave as a sort of or match. Very good very good build up here for both films. Storylines self gets popular well, and yeah, sometimes that's all you need. Um, right, so in the back, in uh, the back, so look, in the back, so Luca and Zaria, and Zaria talk strategy for Soul's title defense, as I'm making the way out to the ring, we get a brief interview with Ricky Saints, and the Ricky Saints sort of, but or Ricky Saints sort of breaks down his feuds with Ethan Page and Jas or Troy. Now basically, now basically, now, but, um, basically, it's actually, so, as Ethan Page is the type of guy that will stick to you who was to get what he wants for a caring the world woman here, Jasper Butcher. He has a lot of anger and is inexperienced, um, inexperienced, obviously, like coming from LFG and make some rookie mistakes, but he's dangerous, but that's what that's what I'm facing, that's what I'm facing to be exit, in Philadelphia. Yeah, interesting, um, interesting backstage promo, and it adds a bit more meat to the one. Or Ricky's arcs, however, has been all over the place in terms of book. In basic, they, he has get the ball dropped on him a bit, and yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But to be honest, but to be honest, I see them pushing Jasper or Troy because Jasper or Troy's a new project. As a Ricky Saints is more of an established name, so yeah, there's that consider, or obviously, obviously, we get to the end of it, and it's him all versus I did aim for the North American Championship, or a really good or a really good match, some kill Austin here for alls during the ad break. Tatum, so he hits a neck probably he off through the ropes on to Ukari kicks out or Lucas arts or come back, and it's very back and forth from that point on, and very exciting. Outcomes outcomes Nia Jackson or Show Edge and everybody everybody in the everybody out on the outside, the oh in the and even the area was like, what the hell's going on? But Soluk is the main but in the fishery here, and she hits us so snap at John on Ethan Patzel and gets the victory, probably the best match of the night. Eyes, um, um, and obviously the Ethan Patzel, he had a couple of cool neck breakers on through the ropes and on from the top rope. Oh, Tatum Patzel, he is very good in her own right, and technical. So the Academy aims as a dual champion, even though WWE speed has been I always swear it under the carpet, even though she still carries the speed championship out with for along with her NXT North American Championship. So maybe they'll reboot that for so maybe they'll reboot that for a second season. My only criticism of that is you've made it a social media exclusive show. Not many people know, not many people know about the show, etc. is barely promoted to these days, and yeah, and having it on X, probably one of the most negative how platforms out that doesn't really help because a lot of people avoid that or like the people you get them in it. There's always something controversial in every fan base and them out here and there's always somebody in the IWC's done also but yeah but yeah, they might need to you think that's strategy put that so on Tubi as well, because you have WWE Evolve on Tubi already, so I'm sure they'd be happy to have a short or so even more than Evolve on the platform as Trippy to sort of deal in a lot more soft form content. I've noticed so that would be an ideal sort of that would be an ideal sort of how form for it. I know obviously I know obviously it is only is Rima and it's anyone and should be in itself as a free streaming alpha series and why it's free is because it's ad support. Um so yeah so yeah so I don't know why WWE Speed doesn't sort of get moved the kid over to Tubi because it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like the ideal how is order this one show regard tell us if it's short form content and it just actually it seems like a pretty odd scenario so to speak as to what I it's on as to what I it's on it's on yeah, obviously you didn't get any Tony D'Angelo development in eyes, but them's the breaks. It's only a 2 hour show. In terms of segments and promos, I thought it was a decent show. A couple of them matches were a bit iffy. The first two I thought were a bit sort of shaky, but it was still an interesting show. And for that reason of the unpredictability, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Only reason why I am not giving it full marks or even a 9.5 is because the tag team match had to that watch just before the finish. It made the whole finish seem a bit stupid in comparison, and obviously the couple of James part of the part of the promo and the part of the dark state promo that couple of James had to is a bit random um and a bit unintentional weak and to be honest, but um overall I really enjoyed the show. NXT is going from strength to strength, and I'm really enjoying the Ariana Grace Channing Staxel or Enzo Channing Staxel Enzo interactions, as it's a storyline based in the real life, as obviously Chan as obviously Channing Staxel Enzo is engaged to Ariana Carey, so okay, yeah, um, and I'm delighted that she's getting, and that she is getting a lot more to do that being Mariana Carey. Yes, she's got a lot of personality. You see it in her roles together. His segments on X as well. Those are funny. Um, she's a a very successful couple at streamer. She uploads full apps for your YouTube channel, and she does a tutorials as well. She bakes as else and stuff. So yeah, so she's very successful outside the WWE, and yeah, so she has a pretty successful um so she has a pretty big and successful sort of any empire for herself as well. She's also very talented in the ring and good on the mic, so it's very interesting that she's getting a bit more to do, and I have to say it's about time, it's because it's deserved that she's maintaining, and so is and so Stacks as well. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll be interesting to see if the real life striking translate on screen. And yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you all very soon for the next video. This has been your NXT review. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon.